How you're experiencing the Common Core in your current role?
I think I can speak about Common Core math as a teacher and also as a student. When I first started teaching, I taught how I learned math. Answers right away, the quickest way, memorization. How do I get the kids to do well in the standardized testing? They'll ask me questions, well, why 3 times 4 is 12? Well, I don't know, that's just how it is. That's just what happens in math. It's all these magical numbers that I wasn't able to, I knew in my own head, but I didn't know how to teach it. So I got on and I love Prime. I got on a math project called Prime, and it's a 3-year program that for 3rd grade to 5th grade teachers that we come together and we learn math conceptually. And it was extremely challenging, and I learned a lot. So we did everything that, we practiced all the math practices, the math behaviors that are in the Common Core. And as a student involved in that and participating in that, I know how frustrating and how challenging and how even defeating it might have been, and intimidating, because it's group work, it's discussion, it's explaining your thinking, it's words in math, like words and what does that even mean? Reading and analyzing and critically thinking in this deeper kind of, deeper sense in math. And I don't think anyone has taught math like that I've seen or encountered. And so as a teacher, I think that 3-year program really gave me an advantage to really strategically be intentional about how I teach this in my classroom. So there's challenges, absolutely, and I can speak to that in a second, but the most exciting part about teaching with the Common Core is the transition between kind of like independent to I'm so nervous. Sheena. The transition between independent into like this social interaction. We're learning from each other, and I've cried. I'm such an emotional person. I've cried as students come up and show their work, and their work in a way where they're seeing there's multiple ways to get to one answer. So we, as you know, these are called tasks now and not tests, and like milestone tasks. And I think that's great because, tasks takes work, and tasks it's challenging and you have to persevere. I think when students get to a challenging situation, they think it's hard and they're not learning. And I'm just like, if it's not challenging, then you're not growing. Why would I give you something that's easy? So one of the most enjoyable things in my classroom is where we do these math status posters, where they show their mathematical thinking in multiple ways. Pictures, numbers, and words. Right now in the beginning of the year, we'll get into like diagrams and tables as our math gets more complicated. But we will give them, it's not just numbers anymore. It's, these numbers have value and have meaning. And they need to know what the value and the meaning is, or you're not understanding the math problem. So I just brought 2 examples of kind of math tasks that are, they get progressively more challenging. There's a cookie dough problems. I mean, it could be a multiplication task, it could be an addition task, however, whatever transaction they want to make with it, because whatever they bring in, it shows their math understanding and the process over the product. So you can see that's the cookie dough. And this was really neat because I learned with them Pat's quirky problem. And what's funny is that I was a part of writing the curriculum for Math Common Core. So I wrote this, I helped write the whole numbers unit for 4th grade. So again, that's a different lens of like writing curriculum for teachers. And that was really that put me outside the box and really challenging, because what are teachers complaining about? What do they want? What don't they want inside of this curriculum? Is it too much? Is it too standard heavy? Do they want a differentiation? So it was, that was really powerful for me to be able to help write as a teacher. And this is one of the problems we wrote together. And, you can write and plan all you want, but here are these kids that are like putting this, real life on paper. Is it going to work? And so seeing us come up with this problem and then actually doing it in my classroom was just really cool and amazing. Basically, they're just trying to explain why Pat got her addition problem wrong, and they had to explain it in more than one way. So they showed a simple, like 4,567 plus 4, whatever, simple math problem by using base 10 blocks, counting up, compensation, like what is that? I didn't know what that was, and they're like obsessed with it. So it's not just like column addition anymore, partial sum, they're breaking down the numbers, they're putting numbers back together, they're understanding that all these numbers, even though maybe there's not like a story to the numbers, it still has meaning. It's in the tens place, so it's not 7, it's 70. And that the discussion around that. Sorry, am I talking too much? Am I okay? I'm talking really fast. Last, just to end before I get to like some challenges, the follow-up to these posters is we do our gallery walk. And to add on to the gallery walk, we do, we look at each other's work and we comment and ask questions about the work. And that's extremely foreign to my class. I think to students in general, we have individual lessons on what's a math comment and what's a non-math comment. So I think a challenge, just kind of leading into the challenges, is that it really takes a lot of time to hone in on all of the foundational skills. Like how do you walk in a gallery walk throughout the classroom? I know I didn't have in my credential program classes on that, and you think it's easy because it's just, kids, you just kind of just walk around. But how long? How many kids to one station? What does it sound and look like? And we have to model it, and model it in the bad way and model it in a good way. And what is, Sally doing right? And what does Kevin need to work on? So that takes time. And working in groups. How do you respect these are 9-year-old, and if they're coming from a math teacher or whatever their second grade teacher did for math, where it's just individual math and they're not working in groups a lot in math, they're not going to know how to. So we have to spend time doing mini lessons on how to work in groups, how to be respectful and safe. And I think that professional development is a high need with teachers. I feel like teachers are going to teach what they know, and if they don't know how to run a gallery walk, as simple as it sounds, they're not going to do it. And then it needs to be this sense of Common Core math community where first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, kindergarten to fifth, we're all practicing the same routines and procedures. So when they get into the fourth grade, I'm not reteaching how to be respectful. I mean, I'm revisiting, but not like reteaching and really getting in depth how to be respectful in a math team, we call it in my class. And so, yeah.
Excellent. Mr. Secretary.
Real quick question.
Yeah.
Two quick questions.
Yes.
On the PD, which is obviously hugely important, who's responsible for that?
Right.
Is it the teacher? Is it the school? Is it the principal? Is it the district? Is it the state? Is it national using technology or international? So if you need better PD,
Right.
who's responsible for delivering that?
I think it depends on the site, but for my school, we have an instructional leadership team, and we kind of go to the principal and tell her our needs as a team and as a school, and that's kind of where it gets ironed out. But I mean, it has to be mandatory. I mean, that's the principles, and it's hard to even say that because we do so much already, and time is not our friend. I've been lucky because I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've been a student. It's unrealistic to ask teachers to dedicate that much time, even though it really, I mean, it pays off. So I'm not sure. I don't know how, well, I mean, it just comes to the leader of the school, really, and what she's implementing and what she's like, yeah.
The other quick thing, when you were writing curriculum, what was the biggest change you were trying to make from the past?
Kind of like what Sheena said, the shift from, I just blanked out. No, okay.
What was your goal?
Being intentional, with kids learning from each other. So, and that's like our nature is just to like help and tell the answer and like make it easy for them. I mean, live in this space of confusion and being confused and being challenged, and it's hard for me as a teacher because they're like, oh my God, they're not getting it. So I just want to like tell them, or you know. And so in the curriculum, we have to think about all of those challenges and all of those steps. And I wish, just teaching math Common Core now, I wish I would have, and I don't know why, because my main population are English language learners. I wish I would have thought about my demographic more, because I mean, it's like teaching English. And I mean, the vocabulary, even like stories like, I did this and it was like, what's a tub, you know, of ice cream? Then we would have to talk about that. So that's something I think that needs to be panned out, and so it takes more time as a teacher in the classroom to like explain all these vocabulary words, and that's why I love the 3-read fold, where we're like, what words don't you understand? And we'll talk about that. But and you know, math now is teaching English and teaching writing. So it's not just these, you know, magical numbers anymore.